doing the science directly. It's just amazing. I'm going to look to my fellow trustees, see if there's any questions. Trustee Butterworth.
Can you hear me now?
I can.
So I don't have so much of a question as a story about me and then a story about you. So in grade 10, I desperately wanted a trip to Triumph to get a tour of SFU's particle accelerator. My dad secured me one. I was so excited. And I told my physics teacher that I was going to go on this trip, and I was like, I thought he'd be thrilled. He had absolutely no interest in particle accelerators. But even more, he told me that I didn't need to go because all I was going to get was my MRS degree. Yeah. But I was talking to a Terry Fox student not too long ago, and we were talking about physics, and she was really excited about physics, and guess who she had as her teacher?
I don't know.
And I was saying that, this was my story, and that I knew you were going to CERN, and she was like, Mr. C would never make us feel like that. He is, I'm gonna cry. Sorry, you already made me emotional with the flowers. She said that you inspire learning in them all the time, and it doesn't matter who they are. You just care that they care about physics. So I can't say how envious I am about your trip to CERN. It pays for everything that you make kids feel like that.
Oh, thank you so much. Who was the student?
I think she said her name was, it started with an H, was I'm so sorry, we didn't actually introduce ourselves before we started talking, but she's in your grade 11 class. So.
No problem.
Thank you for sharing that. Trustee Woods?
Yeah, thank you, Board Chair. Is this on? It's working?
Yeah.
Great. That was fantastic. I think I'm sold. I love physics. I'm all over all that. So I could go up and talk to you forever about that work. But I just wanted to highlight, on the day we're recognizing all teachers for superb work that they do. You totally were a perfect example of that, and I can see where you're totally into what you do, and I can tell where kids would respond well to the work you do. So thank you for doing the work you do. I have to ask a question because that's what it is. So my question is, how does a camera capture a collision that happens at the speed of light?
The collisions don't quite happen at the speed of light. It's very close.
99.99.
Yeah, they go through the detectors and they interact with the particles in the detectors. They're built like an onion, so like on the inner layer, you're going to catch certain things, very heavy metals there. They're going to kind of catch like alpha particles and stuff. And then as it moves out, they get lighter and lighter. And then there's like muon detectors that are a little farther out in the detector. And so it'll like leave a trace, honestly. It looks like a track. And if it occurs one way, it's charged positively. If it occurs another way, it's charged negatively. And which layer it stops in will tell you what kind of particle it is. And then the neutrinos just go right through, and they can't detect it. They don't know what to do with that.
Thank you. Trustee Dennison?
Thank you, Edward. We share an interest in physics. Actually, I worked one summer at the linear accelerator in Toronto.
Oh, yeah.
And a lot's changed since then. But one of these days, I'll have to tell you about an interaction that apparently took place between Albert Einstein and Niels Bohr, and they were contemporaries.
Yes.
And I think you'll enjoy that.
I'd love to hear that story.
Thank you, Trustee Dennison. Trustee Royer?
I just wanted to say that I have so much gratitude for you, for our teachers. It's amazing that you're talking about physics and you are so passionate about this subject that I imagine that every student, even students that are struggling, they would come away from the class and just have a really clear picture and may even be passionate about the subject. So I'm just feeling just so much gratitude for our teachers. And when you have a teacher that you really connect with and they really help you understand a subject that you might even be struggling with, you remember that person forever. So I can only imagine how many lives that you have touched, and we heard testimony this evening of that very thing. So just thank you so much. I'm so glad that you went, and I know that you are bringing the whole experience back to all of our kids. So thank you.
Thank you. Yeah, I think I just love learning, and I love how weird and wonderful our universe is, and how mysterious it is, and how we're not done learning. We still have so much more to go, and it's fun. I don't know.
Amazing. Thank you.
Thank you, Trustee Rourke. Superintendent.
Well, congratulations again, Edward, on your achievement and your leadership, and we really appreciate your leadership in the area of STEAM especially. And I know you're a candidate for a PhD, and I hope you're successful in your candidacy. And you're taking students to see the total eclipse of the sun, and I took a group of our principals to see the total eclipse of the sun in Shanghai, and I think it was 2012. And it was a fantastic experience, so I'm so glad our students will benefit from that. Congratulations again.
Thank you. If any of you will get a chance on April 8th, find a spot where you can observe the eclipse. It's the biggest Great North American Eclipse, they're calling it, and it's going to be the last one anywhere in North America for 20 years. So, get there if you can. Go to Mazatlan, that's a good spot to go. If I didn't have to take students, I'd
Probably good. I believe there's also another one next month, October.
Yes, there's gonna be an event at Terry Fox, a little eclipse event. We're gonna have an annular eclipse, they call it. It doesn't
You'll see the ring, right?
Yeah, it doesn't totally cover the sun. It covers, the moon is a little farther away at that point in its orbit, so it's a little less than total. So it won't get completely dark, but it will be a decent eclipse here, one of the best we've had in a while. It's 82% coverage here. So we'll be at Terry Fox on the grounds with our glasses and just kind of having a little party. It's Saturday morning, October 14th, 8 a.m.
I had the opportunity to travel down, was it 5 years ago or so, down in Oregon? I saw it there firsthand myself, and it's quite an experience. So I certainly encourage anyone able to. Well, thank you again for your presentation, and congratulations on your wonderful journey that you've been on.